Next up, well, speaking of crows, next up we have Jenny. No, I'm joking. Okay. Next up, we're homies, I think. Next up we have Jenny, who's going to come back, but this time as an for an econ thesis, and right after that we have Tasomi, and Jonathan will also be back. So let's give it up one more time for Jenny, who is not a crow. Not a crow.
Let's take a poll. Do you prefer Advil or ibuprofen? Raise your hand for Advil. Raise your hand for ibuprofen. These two are the same anti-inflammatory drug, except Advil is the brand name and ibuprofen is the generic name that any producer can use. Advil is an example of a small molecule drug. Small molecules are chemically synthesized. Another popular anti-inflammatory drug is Humira, which is an example of a biologic. Biologics are produced from cells of a living organism and are growing in popularity in the pharmaceutical industry. When a drug is first developed, the parent company is granted a patent that ensures market exclusivity for that drug for 20 years. So before Advil's patent expired, there was no generic ibuprofen. But once it expired, generic ibuprofen came in very quickly. That is because the active ingredient for small molecules must be publicly disclosed in the patent. However, that makes making generics a simple copy and paste operation. However, the story for Humira is different. Biologics are not required to disclose their living cell line in a patent. Therefore, generic producers must do more research, and it's not an exact replica, so we call them biosimilars. Once a patent expires and a generic enters into the market, companies experience something called a patent cliff, where they see a dramatic loss in revenues. I aim to answer the question, does the patent cliff for biologics vary from the one for small molecules? I hypothesized that the loss of sales for biologics is less than that for small molecules because it's harder to produce a biosimilar. This means there's less competition in the market and prescription prices for biologics stay high. I compiled sales data for biologics and small molecules and then conducted a statistical analysis comparing the loss of sales for both categories. My hypothesis was correct. Biologics are losing less sales than those for small molecules, leading to the assumption that consumers are not leaving biologics for a cheaper alternative that may not even be there. I'm truly sorry if this gives you a headache, but you could always take some ibuprofen. Thank you.